Yes, guys, good evening. I would like to say it's going to be positive tonight, but I got a very funny feeling it's not going to go that way. Hope everybody's had a good Christmas. Everybody's who's been watching. Unfortunately, Santa didn't deliver us a late Christmas present today, but we'll get into that shortly. Joined tonight by my co-host, Mr. Rhys David Evans. How are we?
Evening, not bad. Well, not happy, but not bad.
Yes, it's getting to become the norm now. We're coming on here having a bit of a rant, and it's not good times. It's worrying times at the moment, but
It's honestly, I think we're in a slump now. Can't see where the next win's going to come from. That's the problem either. You look at Oxford, say you're thinking that's the first winnable game. No disrespect to them, but they're on a bad run. We should be looking at taking 3 points against them, and then we can see 3 sloppy goals. I think 3-2 flatters us as well.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it was disappointing, obviously, to go 1-0 down, and a former Cardiff player scoring the goal as well. I'm guessing he had a bit of stick off some of the fans. I'm guessing because he, when he scored the goal, he was like, fans similar to Kiefer Moore the other day, but. It's just so disappointing because I thought Oxford first half were really, really poor, and we just couldn't capitalise on anything. We just, we had so much of the ball, but just looked clueless with it. They just looks as if they've. I said to you before we come on the live that it looks like we got 2 or 3 games left of the season, nothing to play for. That's what it looks like from outside in. And just, considering where we are, I'm shocked at the way body language, players' body language, it just looks as if they've given up.
But I noticed, the way they set up first half was the same as us against Sheffield United. They just want to contain us, let us have the ball, they go narrow, let us go wide, but we don't do nothing with the wide. We pass it across the back 4, and it's just easier to defend than it is. So I thought first half they just did what they had to do, contain us, keep us quiet, and they did. And then second half, they nicked the goal. Then second half they came out, they're on top. They know we're going to be desperate for a goal. Exploit the spaces. We don't press. We don't close down. We let runners have the ball. It's the same thing every week. We're just too easy to defend against. Anyone can see how to stop us. Anyone can see how to play against us. It's just ridiculous. Ruben loses his marker for Kieran Brown's goal. Their third goal, don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful strike, but there's no way we should let him have that much time on the ball to take a shot like that anyway. But we're saying the same thing every week. And then Rizza comes out and says the same thing every week. We give him too much time on the ball. Well, do something then. I don't understand this. It must be a tactical decision why we don't press teams, honestly.
Yeah. Not good. Let's have a look what some of the guys are saying in the chat. Die the Wheel. Welcome, Di. It's the first time I've seen that name, so welcome aboard. No heart, no fight. Jonathan Davis, part of the furniture now. John, welcome, buddy. Most heartless, soulless, and effortless performance I can remember in a long time. How long would it take for a new owner to come in and repair 14 years of damage to the club? Evan, today's performance really did it for me. Never felt so depressed after watching a Cardiff game. What has happened to this club that I now have a toxic relationship with? Yeah, you're not on your own, but Bradley, hi. Apparently Bradley, you was at the game today. Let us know what it was like, buddy, what the atmosphere was like from the away supporters. GD Parry, good evening, buddy. Too little, too late. Lewis Watts, never seen an away end turn so nasty in my life. It was really bad.
Yeah, so if anyone's there, what happened at the end of the game? Because all I seen was a couple of players go towards our fans. All I could hear then was chanting of, you're not fit to wear the shirt, and the players just turned around and walked away. Like Reza just clapped halfway, turned around and gone. So if anyone was there, what actually happened? Because I don't really quite know, like.
Yeah, it was very similar up in Derby. I think we lost that game 1-0. We should have lost 2-0, I think.
Yeah, Adams.
Ebo Adams had a chance one-on-one with the keeper, but he fluffed it. And the fans turned pretty toxic that day, in fairness. Rightly so, to a certain extent. I'm not one for shouting and screaming and things like that at the end, but we've all got an opinion, haven't we? And it's just, I don't know.
The only thing is, right, the players come out, they were saying, no, we will reserve. There was rumours that they were going to happy with Bullet. They were speaking. We've seen them down tools for Bullet. They've not put a performance in the show like Risa. Like, no. Most of them don't look like they care. They're just jogging back for the ball. O'Dowda, Rinomota, Pacquiao, 3 players away. Alnwick as well. I think Alnwick does his best. But again, when you've got a defence like that in front of you, there's not much you can do. There's a handful of them, I'd say, show the club some respect in that regard. The other lot, I don't think they bother. They don't care.
No. JT, it's time for Risa to go. We'll come on to that in a second now. Martin Ryan, poor was they were. We didn't really threaten their goal during the first half. Agreed. I think I said that at the start where, we had quite a lot of possession, but just we weren't creating any chances really. And what chances we did create is just not good enough. GD Parry, Sky said we were the top team leading to Sparky's goal. If so, it was very marginal. Steve, is this our lowest point for more than 25? Is this our lowest point for more than 25 years? Can't defend against taller players in the box. Good evening, Matt and Reese. The Fisherman, we have had less talented players in some of the 80s and 90s, but you at least thought they were playing for the club and fans. And I think we've talked about that, haven't we? The players that perhaps have played for Cardiff City over the years, who perhaps might not be the best ability-wise, but they workhorses, and you can see the passion they've got by the performances they put out on the pitch. They don't leave anything out there.
There's games where you lose, you look back and go, quality beat us. It wasn't a lack of effort, it was quality. This season, there's been a lack of effort, a lack of desire, a lack of commitment before quality. So in that regard, then, you can't even say it's a lack of quality because some of the performances are shambolic.
Yeah. But what do you think has changed then in the last 7 or 8 games from that run we went on in October where we were, we didn't lose for, 5 or 6 games maybe?
First of all, right, today was a must-win game for me, right? Must-win game, and he goes to the back 5. For the life of me, I can't understand why. Back 5 is defensive. We don't play attacking full wing backs. We play flat defensive wing backs. O'Dowda maybe is the only difference on one side. But we didn't even go for it. You look at the top trainer, right? About the times Matey had the ball up top, he was on his own. No one around him. You can't play a back 5 like that against a team you're desperate to beat. It's a 6-pointer. Yeah. I think the back 5 has killed us. I think there's no width in that team with the back 5. There's literally no width. It's one of those where you look at the QPR game, we lost that 2-0, right? Their keeper pulled off some standard saves. One of them chances go in, it's a different game. We don't lose it. Sheffield United, okay, you could say it's one of those games where you look at a team like that thinking they probably will beat us. Other than that, though, Preston, it's just a lack of desire and stuff. I think it's an attitude problem. I think players like Chambers know they're not going to get dropped. So it doesn't matter if they don't put a good shift in. They know they're going to play regardless. Bagan can have a good game, he'll get dropped, doesn't matter, which I think is strange. I think Robertson, we've seen, needs another number 8 next to him. Because without a Turnbull or someone else who can pass the ball about, he struggles, I think. Ruben's too easy to defend against now. He literally stays to one side of the pitch, the right-hand side. That's all he does. You put a man on him.
He loses the ball too much. He loses the ball too much for me now. He tries to do these fancy little flicks and stuff, doesn't he? And it's just not coming off at the moment.
But he needs a out-and-out winger to work off, he does, because remember when Tana was playing on the wide? He would stay high, stay wide, and Tana, when link-up play was brilliant. Without the wide player there, there's no outlet for him. Look up top now, you've got Matey who can bully defenders, but let's be honest, he couldn't finish a Christmas dinner if his life depended on it. And it's not his fault. I mean, he can work hard as he wants. He's not going to score 5 goals a season, never mind 10 or 15. Robertson, he drops into a 10 role normally on the left-hand side rather than a striker. So he's obviously trying to get the ball into forward positions. But then if he's dropping back to get there, there's no one forward ahead of him to get the ball because he's a striker. I mean, all over the pitch, there's clearly a lack of quality as well, I think. There's a definite lack of quality in certain areas, but it's just desire. I don't know what's changed. Barisa just stands there silently, hands in his pocket, rubs his beard, sits back down. There's no shouting. There's no... I don't know. He said now he changed the tactics 3 times today. That just shows you don't know what you're doing then. If tactic A isn't working, you change to tactic B, that's not working. Then at C, you're making it up really, you know? It's just...
Yeah, you talk about passion and desire and things like that, and I think I like to see that from managers on the sideline as well. I like to see the ones that are kind of playing the game on the touchline, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want the manager to actually... I like, you look at the likes of Jose Mourinho and things in the past. You want your managers out on the sideline shouting and screaming, and I don't know. It's just, again, like I said, the passion for me needs to come obviously from the top and filter its way down. But yeah, it's not happening at the moment. Jonathan Davis says they've certainly down tools again. He thinks.
Agree with that.
GD Parry, what they lacked in skill, they made up in desire. Going back to the comments we made about.
I think that's a big thing as well, mine, because I know we got Ramsey around the squad and Rawls around the squad, and both have said there's been words after certain games. But I think it shows that there's a lack of respect for them two as leaders at the club, or people don't see them as leaders at the club. Because if them two are behind the scenes having words of players and still things ain't changing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, January can't go quick enough for us. I think we're desperate for certain players in. And I think it's rather than ability now, it's going to be an attitude adjustment sort of thing. Players with the right attitude rather than ability.
Yeah. Tommy T, seen you drinking your bottle of water, buddy. I think you need more than a bottle of water, he said. We come on to January in a second. Let's just catch up with all the comments. GD Parry, the 90s team. Bilbo Swaggins. That's another new name in there as well. Club's done, mate. Tanner's run us into the ground. Spark went when we left Ninian Park. Unfortunately, with the amount of mistakes with ex-managers, I think there's too many still on a payroll to sign a new manager.
In that case, if that's the case, bring them all back in. I have 10 managers on the sideline. I don't care. Something's got to change.
Richard Shaw will be manager now by the end of January.
Oh, great. Honestly, he'll last till March.
Martin Ryan, we played with 3 centre-backs today, yet all were caught under the ball for the second goal.
Again, a must-win game. Why are you playing the back 5? Why are you back 5 in a must-win game? It's setting up to avoid defeat all the time, and we can't avoid it. We can't stop conceding. So just go for the winner. I don't understand this idea. This philosophy he's got. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He's attacking coach. Clearly, we can't attack. It's so frustrating to watch his side.
Yeah. This is a comment I know you like from Steve. What is becoming noticeable when the kids come on, they do their job. I know you mentioned, I think again, before we went live, you was fairly impressed with Capaccio again when he come on, mate.
Yeah, again, it's one of those for me now where I think there's no shame. Give him a start. If he makes a mistake, I hands down forgive him. He's a youngster. He's learning his trade. I don't care. He's not like a Chambers who's played at Arsenal and stuff, England caps. Put Rinamort in the middle. Rinamorta's working his socks off for us, to be fair to him. It's pointless put him right back. Get Capaccio right back. Give him a run out. Honestly, get Fish on. He'll come on and do a good game. Ashford today looked sharpish. When he's come on lately, he's looked sharpish. Now he's had a lot of issues previously, but again, the kids are just trying to show what they can do to get a career in the game. Yeah. And it'll be funny when you've got like El Ghazi coming on. Absolute coward today, I thought. Absolute coward. And you got the kids coming on.
Is that related to that 50-50 challenge you think he should have flew into?
Again, you can win a penalty. I don't know. It's one of those, right, where some of them, you can see they're there for a payday. They're not there for anything. They don't care for the cause. They won't put their bodies on the line for the cause. And the kids will, because the kids are either Cardiff fans themselves or they're desperate to make an impact. I'd rather play them on the pitch now, I would. I don't care, honestly. I'd drop a few of them.
Yeah, I think it said everything. Like you said, what you've just said there. That opportunity he had towards the end where he was. Did Ruben put him through? No, Robinson put him through, didn't he? 1-on-1 with the keeper. The keeper got it just before him, but you've got to be flying into that. Just everything you've just said. Sue's, good evening. El Ghazi's actions today told us all we need to know about him. No fight for us and gutless given the situation and score. A player of his experience, he should have. A player of his experience, he should been all in. That was a mouthful, eh? That was.
That's what she said.
But yeah, totally agree. Josh is not a lover of El Ghazi anymore because he's offside all the time.
It's Josh, one of those. How many times have people said, all right, he needs time to get into it? It's December now. We can't afford to give him more time to get up to speed. This is ridiculous now, it says. I mean, he's offered nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just another player on the books. I don't know who's signing him. Again, we're all excited at the start of the season. Don't get me wrong. It's not like El Ghazi comes in. You're like, you haven't played for a while. Maybe 3 months he'll be kicking on. He's not the same player he was. He's clearly not the same player. January, I think there needs to be a few players spoken to and told, look, it's best you find other clubs, I reckon, now.
He's going to be another one that I would imagine is on a hefty wage as well. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. And that's why he's probably you, just for that hefty wage. I can't imagine many other clubs coming in for him. We seem to be the only one. But again, there's a few players I need to be told in January. Find another club. Honest to God, he'd be on our list for me.
Agreed. And the worrying thing for me is come January, like I know we've all said, and you said earlier, January can't come quick enough. But I'm really concerned that we're not going to be able to attract the right people to come to the club to try and help, obviously, save us from going down. And I don't think we're going to have much money to throw about, if we'll have any. We will rely on free transfers and loans. But yeah, it's just a worrying time in that sense as well for me.
Well, also, I think, was it the other day, Risa said, didn't he? I look at 2 players to come in. Now, if he thinks he only needs 2 players, and he's on the laughing gas as well, because there's no way he needs more than 2 players. I'm not being funny. There's a mini clear out needed. Again, every year we say the same thing: a clear out is needed. There's just no forward thinking when we sign players. I hate saying it, right? But Swansea get it spot on all the time. They need a winger. They need a certain kind of player. They go out scouting. They find one. They identify it. They sign them. They need a certain kind of midfielder this year. They went out in Portugal, signed Franco. £1 million. What a player he looks to be. We need a striker. We throw a dart on a map, pick a country, dip. We'll have that striker instead there. Go on, we'll take him. That's how we do it. And it's an absolute joke, it is. Like, there's no planning.
Yeah, no, I agree. Steve says we don't fill the box when we move forward. This is a comment you like as well. Chambers must have it in his contract that he can't be dropped.
Oh, I can't believe he's next England international. I honest to God, he looks like a League 2 defender, and the fact he plays every week is baffling. They dropped Darland for his performance last week. Fair enough. Drop this clown as well. What's Will Fish got to do to get the game time? Honestly, Bacon played centre half today as well. Didn't do too bad for doing this.
Yeah. Bacon can close down space at fault for the first goal. Just to go back on what you've just said there, give Fish a go. Chambers looks awful. Richard Newell says it's a shambles. Plenty of comments tonight, guys. Really appreciate you getting involved. Jonathan Davis, Chambers stopped tracking Harris at the edge of the box for the first goal. Paul, horrendous mistakes throughout the team. All the players are guilty from letting opposition teams walk through us and score. Defenders standing off and not closing down. Just the basics. And a lot of it is the basics, and that's the frustrating thing. Because we've said time and time again on paper, we've got we've got a strong side, but that's getting pissed all over at the moment, isn't it? Because we look shocking. And
it's you see all the time, right? A 5-yard pass straight to the opposition. First touch lets them down. Go for the tackle, completely missed the ball. It's the basic things. There's no pass and move. Pep said before he's a Barcelona, the fundamentals of football is pass it and move. We can't do neither. We can't pass it, we can't move, we can't receive the ball. It's just shocking. It's one of those where we're not even playing long ball football, but at this point, long ball football is probably better than what we're playing now. I want us to play passing football, don't get me wrong, but we can't pass. I've never seen a bunch of professionals who can't pass the ball. I don't know what he's doing in training with Rizza. Whatever's happening, he's not doing it right.
I think we're going to have to sneak down to training back, aren't we?
Oh, I want 10 minutes in a change room with them, I do. I love 10 minutes in a change room with them. Oh, honest to God, I'll be flipping tables. I'll have 1 or 2 against the wall. Just stand words to them. Some of them need to just leave the club now because it's just disgraceful. I'm just sick of them.
GD Parry, Rambo and Rolls need to show presence. Paul says we need a new captain brought in January. Jonathan Davis, we need a genuine leader and a goal scorer as well as adding pace. Yeah, agreed there. I think we mentioned the other night that just the lack of pace we've got in certain positions. Was you surprised to see Willock in the starting lineup today?
Very surprised. I think they said about his injury. It was I can't remember the exact wording. Was it a reflector or something? The hip or something?
Something was it? Hip flexor or something?
Yeah, and I thought, he'd be up for a week or two. And then he started. I thought, it's a bit strange, especially if he pulls it, makes it worse. That could be another 3-4 weeks out then. So, again, you've got a game today, game Sunday, then game on the Wednesday. There was no need, I thought, just leave him off, bring him back for Wednesday or bring him back Sunday, just give him a few days off, just recovery. Really strange. But again, he picked the back 5 today, so I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Problem is, who's going to want to come in January in the league position we're in? But nowadays, is if people haven't got a contract or they're out of contract with another club and they're looking, obviously, towards their future, if they can come to Cardiff for 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, and help us stay up, then, and it all comes down to money. If Cardiff are going to pay somebody X amount or whatever, they'll come, won't they?
We've got 2 games now to get ourselves out the relegation zone. Under Steve Morrison, we were in a similar position, just about above the relegation zone. He went out, he signed Corey Dramer, John Hugel, Uche, Alfie Doherty, Tommy Doyle. 5 players brought in loan. 5 players who transformed our season in the second half. I don't know if it was... When he was speaking before, he was saying that he identified the players himself. He went out to the team, spoke to the teams. He gave presentations to the teams and players, saying, this is how I want you to play. I don't know if the club are going to allow Reza to go out and go, this is the player I want, this one, or if they're going to sign them. But this January is going to be make or break for us. I generally think it's make or break.
This comment here from Steve again. Ramsey and Rolls need to start turning up. Now, going back a couple of... I'm not sure if it was during that October run that we had. I think he came out and said that he was having Ramsey and Rolls. They were obviously watching the game from up in the box or whatever, and they were feeding back. So I'm not sure if that's still happening now. They're both obviously still out injured. Sheffield United game, I know Rolls obviously wasn't in the squad. Neither was Ramsey. I know they were both there. But whether or not they're still doing anything like that, I don't know. But like you said, the concerning thing is, if there is, something going on behind closed doors, I think you mentioned earlier, it's come out there's been a bit of a ding dong or something's happened in the changing room. Was it after the Preston game?
Yeah, I think so. And Joe Rawls came and said a few of us had words in the changing room afterwards.
Yeah. And
you're looking back thinking, mate, no offence, you're one of the problems as well. You didn't put in a good shift that game. It's not as if it's just 1 or 2 players with down with tools. A lot of them either don't look good enough or there's just lack of effort. It's just so bad. But you say now about Ramsey was in the stands. He was behind Reza in the stands, right? But see now you're on the 2 stands either side, right? Your view of the game will be different to someone who's in the Canton and the Grange end. Because how you see the game will be totally different from the other side. And when we stand in the Canton, we see there's no width out wide. The forward 3 go narrow, and so they tuck in, and there's no wingers, no one to get the ball to. NG will get the ball right back. You look ahead of him, there's all space, no one to pass into it. So he comes straight back to Gutas, goes back to Chambers, goes back to Began. He looks forward, there's no one there, then it comes back again. These are players all over the place. I mean, not being funny, but they sacked didn't sack the analysis left in a few days ago.
Yeah,
so again, I mean, not be funny, but it just shows how bad it is. We've brought another defensive coach in. I don't know anything about Richard Shaw. I don't know if he's a great coach. I don't know what he's like. He's an ex-defender who's come in as an assistant. So now we've got him and Darren Purse, 2 defensive coaches, and we look clueless on the attack. So where's the attacking coaches? Because Rees is not an attacking coach, let's be honest.
No, that's the scary thing, isn't it? Going back to the manager situation then, Tom Ramasut is the next manager. He survived 100 managers.
Honestly, how he survives more, I have no idea. I don't know. None of us know what he does anyway. We know he's a coach there, but none of us know exactly what he coaches or what he does at the club. It's laughable.
Has Ashford ever played badly for us? Martin Ryan? I think, when did we last?
Quiet games.
Yeah, but I think the last time we done a show, I think I said it would, he needed to start today. I thought he'd come on against Sheffield United. He looked sharp, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's got a point to prove as well, because as you said earlier, some things have happened behind closed doors. I think some things happened with Wales under 21s, didn't it? And was it something to do with his attitude at Cardiff as well? It was broadcasted, I think. Yeah,
Cardiff and Wales, apparently there was an attitude problem, and he got dropped from both, didn't he?
Yeah.
But again, today was a perfect game for him to play wide right, stick out wide, use his pace, and just attack the full-backs. So they full-backs aren't exactly pacey, but instead we play the back 5. It's just clueless on the top down. Honest to God, a must-win game, a 6-pointer, and we set up to avoid defeat. Yeah. Honestly,
the only one that put his body on the line today was Jack Annick when their player flew into him. Chambers and El Ghazi are laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
It was an interesting comment. Joel Colwell scored twice today. He needs to return in January. Very interesting comment, that is. I don't think he will return, but I wouldn't be against that at all, given the performances of some of the players we've got at the moment.
My only worry is, right, if he comes back now and all of a sudden we're still losing, he'll be one of the first ones dropped. Regardless of how he performs, he'll be one of the first to drop because of his name. Let's be honest, he's just a youngster.
Yeah.
But do you see Rees as well a few days ago saying that he'd like him to come back and go along to a higher division team now in League One? Yeah, and Michael Flynn, that Cheltenham came out and said, well, he's not spoken to us about it, which I think is really disrespectful if our managers talk about players going elsewhere without talking to the club at first. I mean, we're trying to develop players. If we don't have a relationship with these clubs, it's going to make us look bad in the future. So, again, another mistake from Rees up there.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? But I can understand why he wants him to play at a higher level. Obviously, he's doing really well at Cheltenham. But, if that's agreed before, he went to Cheltenham, but I don't know, it'd be a bit harsh on Cheltenham to say, right, we're taking him back and then ship him to, I think, Exeter has been rumoured that he might go to Exeter in January. So, yeah, I think that'd be a bit naughty on Cheltenham, to be honest.
Well, for Cheltenham, he plays as a 10, he does. And that's Ruben's position for us. So, if we do call him back, does he play as 10 instead of Ruben? Or do we drop him deeper and hope he can do the same job? But it's one of those where, again, if Turnbull comes back after 2 more weeks now, for all we know, it could come back 2-3 weeks' time, and all of a sudden he's dropped again to the bench, and he's watching Turnbull, and let's be honest, Rawls will get in ahead of him. Not because of ability, but Rawls as a name and a captain will probably be brought on as a sub before Joel will. So it's one of those where we need to get a lone player in for number 8 in that position. Someone who, if we do end up benching this lone player, is not going to cause problems.
Love to have a Tommy Doyle.
I'd love him. I would love him back. Tommy Doyle midfield, Sean Morrison at the back, Coley Dramer, and I'd take John Hook. I'd take Uche back. I'd mean, come get the ball off him. Just someone, yeah.
Evan James, we may as well play the youngsters now that will be with us in League One soon. give them a head start so the competition is easier playing the league below. That's the frightening thing, right? If we do get relegated, you look at the squad now and, some of the top earners, I'd say 75% of them would have to go because there's no way we'd be able to afford to pay their wages in League One.
Well, here's a question then. Do you try and sell Ruben in January to get as much money as you can now? Or do you wait until we get relegated, say we do get relegated and sell on the cheap in League One?
It's a great question. And obviously we'd accept less for him now come January, I would imagine, and it'll be even less again then if we did hold on to him and sell him in the summer. But I hope they do neither, to be honest, and I hope obviously we can kind of dig ourselves out of the shit that we find ourselves in at the moment, and we look to build in the summer, but at the moment we look miles off it, don't we?
And the scary thing is we play better away from home than we do at home. That's the scary thing. And look how bad we are away from home. We won once since April against Birmingham. I mean, that just says it all.
And we've got the 7th highest wage bill in the league. GD Parry, sadly, like Reece says, Swans have gotten the big calls right transfer-wise. And some good managers been through their books. Smaller stadium, way into deep, dark Jackland, but they still managed a few years. The less we talk about them, the better. Fuck them. Agree with you, Reece. How Chambers hasn't been dropped is a mystery. I'd rather try Kanga at centre-back so that he's forced to do something against the opposition. Nice one, Ev. GD Parry should have kept Maka. At least it could be a threat at set pieces. I know we had 10 million for him, but I don't think I think you said before that that was a steal, wasn't it?
I think our defenders got mistakes them all the time, but so did he. And I know Luton fans aren't happy with him because he's got a lot of mistakes. I just don't understand. Again, Chambers, I don't know what's happened to Chambers. He comes on paper, he should be a top championship centre-half. He looks like a League 2 standard player. He's got no pace. His movement is short, his position is short, he goes forward the wrong times, leaves space behind himself, he can't track back, he jogs back, doesn't sprint, he misses tackles, his passing is poor. Like, honest to God, he looks like a Sunday League player at best. It's so bad.
Jonathan Davis, the kind of people making these transfers are the same kinds of people that had Bakuna and Smithies as top earners in the club. Nobody here with any football sense and hasn't been for years.
Smithy's what I can forgive. Smithy's one of the best keepers we had for a time. He was quality, to be fair to him. Bakuna I'm not sure how he's a footballer. We played him number 10 when we had Harry Wilson. Put Harry Wilson on the wing. Then we played Bakuna right back. He couldn't do that. Then we put him up top for a game. Couldn't do that. Then midfield for a game. Again, he was a joke.
Yeah. Wayne Richards, another new face or new name, should we say, in the chat. Thanks for getting involved, buddy. And he says, I think we play to the strength of the opposition. The only thing is we always come second, but we did step up when the younger players were subbed on. Yeah, I think we touched upon that early doors. Going back to Willock's injury. Jonathan Davis was surprised to see Willock, but at least he tried, came closest to scoring, so they took him off. Did anything come out about Willock going off? Did he have a bit of a reoccurrence of his injury, do you think? It must have been for him to have come off at half-time, or do you think it was a tactical switch?
I would be surprised if it was like, give us 45 minutes if you can, I will make a sub, we will. I won't be surprised if it was that. But it's a little wind me up now, is we'll see a picture tomorrow now from the club will post of them all training with smiles on their faces again. And it'll be just looking like a half-assed training session, all smiles, all happy, and then they'll put a shit show in like that on Sunday, now they will.
Yeah, agreed. Martin Ryan says, we can't bring anyone in until we get rid of a few from the first team squad.
So who goes then?
Difficult one. Have you heard rumours Hovarth might be going?
Oh, please.
I don't know how true that is.
Collins will go.
Yeah, there's been rumours that
certain things have happened with him, with the club.
Yeah.
I can't. We've all heard things like he don't play for us again. He's been told, find a new club, you're not welcome back anymore. I think Fish will go on loan.
I don't know. I don't think you. Well,
You won't play him.
I don't know. I just want to see him put a City shirt on, and again, we've only seen glimpses of him. But I wasn't impressed with Darland in the last game. I know when he's, his first game was his first game against the Jacks, or first start was against the Jacks. And
he looked great in that game.
Well,
he was a ball playing centre half. He got forward with it. You couldn't get off him. He was starting play. He was up the attack. He looked like a John Stones from Man City in the prime. He was on the ball, a ball playing centre half. Finally, we had one. We needed one for a while. We've had one. All of a sudden, he had an injury and he's come back. I don't know if it's a confidence thing because the whole club is in a mess. But it's one of those where if he makes a mistake and you're on a good run, it probably doesn't cost you. When in a slump like we are, you make one mistake, it costs you, and then all of a sudden it plays in it. So you're always thinking, if I make a mistake now, I messed up again, and it's that.
He just didn't look comfortable for me. I think it was the Sheffield United game when we had the back three, and he played on the kind of right hand side of that back three.
Yeah,
and he just looked. I don't know. It's not. You wouldn't think it's that much of a difference moving over 10 yards type of thing. But
to be fair, mind it might be the first time he comes up against a player like Kiefer Moore. Because you don't find players like Kiefer Moore across Europe. A big, tall, target man who's good with his feet and stuff. Usually the short little guys who hold the ball up, and that's about it. But Kiefer Moore is a different kind of player, and that's going to be difficult to play against. But again, you got Chambers next to you as well. You're thinking he should be doing something, but you got Guptas who's experienced centre half.
Yeah. Paul says, whatever we all say amounts for nothing. But Tan has to spend big to get out this mess. But we all know Tan won't. Jonathan Davis then goes back to Richard Shaw and highlights that he was Risa's mate from Watford under 21s. Yeah, I think they were involved coaching with each other. Risa is just another yes man. Fuck the lot of them. Tan, Dalman, Chu, Purse, Ramaset. Fuck them all off. Complete charlatans.
See, I agree with most of that. I'd keep Darren Purse. I think our academy has never produced as much quality as has since Purse has taken over. Under Darren Purse, we've seen a lot of players come through now and looking like they're going to make the step up. I'd keep Darren Purse. I know a lot of people, certain people don't like him because he doesn't win every game, because Bellamy won every game. You look back at what the players came through under Bellamy, it was Bagan and Ruben. That's the only players came through under Bellamy. I think Isaac Davis, maybe. He's not really played much for us. Looking under Darren Purse now, you've got Kipakio coming through. Reindorf looks like he's coming through. I know he's signed him for the club, but he's developed him. You've got Ola, boy, who's playing for the under 23s, looks like a decent player. You've got Joel coming through. Tom Davis coming through. I mean, there's players coming through under Darren Purse, so I'd keep Darren Purse.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to know who persuaded Riza's 5 at the back will improve our performance.
A must-win game as well. A must-win game, and he goes 5. I can't get over that.
Jonathan Davis says Joel could show Ruben how to pass, not alone shoot at the moment. GD Parry, Stevie Wonder could show Ruben how to pass or shoot better. Considering it's one of Tan's things to shoot, I just think none of our guys have got the confidence to pull the trigger, have they?
They just see the pass. This is like you're saying as well, right? Like say now, I think I told you before the start of the show. At one point, there was about 6 other players on the right-hand side passing in triangles. Now, you want your right winger, maybe your right back, fought up behind him, and you want your Ruben in the box, you want your striker in the box, left winger right making a run in the box, and your number 8 making a run in the box. You get 4 bodies in there, you get the ball in there. They don't. They all stay out of the box, they pass it along the back 4. At that point, it's easy defending. It's just come out, close them down, make the ball back. It's the same all the time. It's so frustrating. How many times does Ruben get the ball wide, and rather than cross it in, he looks to try and cut inside or take the man on and pass it. Just put the ball in the box.
And you say that, all right. The trouble is we've never got any fucking in the box to cross it into anyway.
But yeah, this is it. Like it's just honestly, it's such a hard watch right now because he's an attacking coach. He sold himself as an attack-minded coach. There was talk about Bullock would just be super defensive. I can see why now. Honestly, I can see why Bullock was so adamant being defensive. Get past the first few games. Hold out then, try and nick a win against the last season. Honestly, I think Bullock, looking back now, I think a lot of people are going to be looking back at Bullock thinking maybe we're a bit harsh on him, I think, because I know the first few games are tough. But, I mean, he didn't lose, like, to QPR Preston this season. He didn't lose them games, or do you mean, or the Oxford away? Do you mean we looked even worse since he's gone?
Yeah, no, agreed. Steve reckons Ramsey needs to retire. 34 today as well, Rambo. Happy birthday, Rambo. I don't know how long he's going to be on the sidelines for again now, but
Uncle Bryn is healthier.
Yeah, very similar to last season with him in it. It's it's frustrating for us as fans not being able to see him out on the pitch. I think we all know we're not going to see the Rambo of his Arsenal days and things, but we would just like to see him fit and contributing to better performances, really. But at the moment, we're not getting that opportunity. So fingers crossed he can play large part of the second half of the season, but I wouldn't count on it. Jonathan Davis, I tried Darland and Fish for a few games because Gutas and Chambers are clearly not working. Loads of comments tonight, guys. Thank you very much.
An Oxford fan in the comments as well, there is.
Oh, I'll have a look now. Have I come down to it?
No, I don't think so yet.
You'll have to wait there. Be patient. You've had 3 points off. You've had 3 points off us today, so waiting another 5 minutes is not going to hurt you. I am working my way through the comments. There's just so many of them. Steve says, I would say anyone who can leave in January should leave. We don't have many adding value to our squad. And Steve says he would sell Ruben Colwell. Paul, players are void of any sort of confidence, the same under Bullet. It's now the same under Reza. Injuries have hit us hard, but those on the pitch simply are not good enough as a team. GD Parry says it's McCarthy ball.
5 centre-backs and 3 holding midfielders. And we were fighting. I think we exceeded up to 5 minutes under McCarthy, did we? And he came out and said, well, the first 5 minutes are really well. Then we exceeded 1 and it all fell apart. Says it all.
Yeah. Simon gave Pearce credit for the defending at the start against Plymouth and Portsmouth, but don't mention him anymore. Yeah, I think, obviously size, I wouldn't say he's close with Darren Pearce, but I know he speaks to him regular. At the end of the day, if things are not going well, I think everybody's open to, criticism. And like I said earlier, we've all got opinions. But yeah, our defence looks shaky for the last 6, 7, 8 games without shadow of a doubt. And I just don't think they know what our strongest back 4 is, or back 5 even now we've gone into, which is bonkers. But I just don't think they know what our strongest is. Or if they think that is our strongest, I think they're pissing into the wind.
To be fair, man, they all thought Reza was a manager, so someone's on the crack over there, isn't he?
Yeah. Zach is the Oxford fan.
Yeah.
Your 27 looked class. Callum played okay, but he's still a knob. Rest of your lot looked out of it. So 27, that's Ruben, eh?
Yeah. Welcome, first of all. Obviously, great to have fans when the club's on.
Yeah, top man for getting involved, Zach. Thank you very much, buddy.
I thought they played. I thought Oxford did the job today. They contained us in the first half, kept us quiet. In the second half, just took charge of the game. Gary Rowett all over that, right? This is what happens when you hire a proper championship manager. Like, again, it's just the only thing is, right, we conceded today now, and not a play. You can see none of the players speak up. All heads dropped. No one said a word. It went quiet. As soon as we conceded, all heads dropped. Not one of them is a leader out there. Not one of them would I go to war with, honestly. I would love for a Sean Morrison to be back on our side. Just grab some of the scruff of the neck, drag him at the pitch, get him going, screaming at them, because there's just silence there is, honestly.
I will come back to Zach now in a second. Paul Francis, tracksuit manager needed, direct football and discipline. And Zach mentioned Callum O'Dowd as a knob. Is O'Dowd a former Oxford player then?
Yeah. He played down a good few years ago for Bristol City. I think he went for free, if I'm correct. That's why they weren't happy with him, because he left. I didn't get any money from him. Like, to be fair, right, he's one of those players I think we can rely on. Like, he does work hard for us, but there's no one there. I mean, there's no wonder why he gets the assists and some of the goals, because I think he does work his socks off. Yeah. He's wasted a wing back or left back, I think, for me. needs to be further at the field, but we don't play with wingers. And that's, again, you're just cutting his legs off him, basically.
Yeah, he's been our best player for me so far this season. Not that there's much competition, really, but yeah, just echo everything you just said about him there. Jonathan Davis, Bullett's first few games last season helped carry him through the season. We ended the season awfully and started this season just as bad. Sorry, I didn't pull that one up. Zach, when I got you in the comments, buddy, what was the away support like up there today? Was it about 1,700, I think, went up, Reese? I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I'm sure it was about 1,700 Cardiff fans went up.
Good. We tried getting tickets, but we couldn't. And looking back, I was lucky we didn't get tickets.
Vincent, good evening, buddy. Don't know how we're going to get out of this shit. Not good enough. Need new players. Graham, you spoke last night of the likes of Leggy, Burke, etc. This lot not good enough to clean the boots. Yeah, cheers, Gray. That's going back to, I think the side put a video out last night where we talked about our all-time 11. You know, what we wouldn't give now to have the likes of Andy Legg back playing. And yeah, it's just that mentality and things just doesn't seem in modern-day footballers for me.
Honestly, that's the key word. It's mentality. How many of them players going to run through a brick wall? Look back at the 11 we named last night of Cavra and stuff. They'd run through a brick wall to get the ball back. They will chase down. They'll hunt in packs. They will win the ball back. The desire's there. And if they lost the game, it wasn't to a lack of effort or desire. It was to a bit of magic or a mistake. I mean, now it just seems to be an absolute lack of any sort of thing. It's just so bad.
Caldwell is a shadow of the player he was in October. He goes missing in games when we need him to. I got a funny feeling they'll end up selling him for $3 million or something.
I mean, the only person we know that liked him was Russell Martin, and he's out of a job right now, so I can't see anyone coming from now. No. You're looking at him and you think there's better players than him right now in the league. He looks like a League One player right now, and I don't know if it's a tactical decision, because you look at Ruben, right, and the Plymouth game and and Portsmouth game was the best game for him. He had time and space on the ball. Time and space, he had Tanner on the overlap. You can feed him, or he can cut inside. Now he's become too predictable. He'll stay on the right-hand side. You can leave a man on him. You don't give him time on the ball. He'll try a trick, he'll lose it. And that's his game is done. There's no runner off him and on the right-hand side. There's no runner coming inside of him. He'll just stop, look to cut back, and pass it away.
I just think he'd be so much better if he had, like you said, he had a bit of a partnership going with Tanner, didn't he? But if you got someone on our right-hand side with a bit of pace and that as well, I think it is a different game. But I think it's something you've said previously, is that, you know, teams now do their homework and their research, and I just think they found out how he plays, and
he's one-dimensional.
They're doing their own work on him, really, but I still love him. I think he's brilliant and he's got so much potential, but we just need more support around him for me. And
I think it was the Coventry game. For the first time ever, he drifted to the left-hand side and he found himself in tons of space there, got the ball and made an assist for Robertson, who curled one in. I don't understand if he's told to stay to that one side, but there's a whole left-hand side he can go into. There's pockets of space. As number 10, he should be smart enough to see them pockets of space and just drift over to him. This is what I thought Ramsey would be teaching him. Find the pockets of space, wander off over there. If you're in space, the ball comes to you, you've got time with the ball. But he doesn't. He stays close to the opposition player. He doesn't try and break away. There's no running off him. It's just pointless. It's pointless nowadays, honestly.
Yeah. We made Vaux look like a midfield maestro.
That was so frustrating to that was. I said to one of the boys, I can't believe how good we made Will Vaux look. One of the most bang average midfielders we've had. Missed the yellow card every game, and he looked like he ran the show today. I could not believe that.
Done his job, didn't he? And we allowed him to do it. That's the trouble.
Yeah, we just allowed. That's the problem. We allow teams to play.
Ryan Lowe or Neil Harris need to give these players a kick up the arse. I'd be surprised if we had Neil Harris back, but you never know. I think O'Dowda is from Oxford. Zach said, we actually got 1.6 million, but he lied to the club to avoid pre-season and went to talk to Bristol. Left a bad taste. Fair enough, Zach.
We've had a few of them players do that to us, haven't we?
Who does the motivational talks in the dressing room?
Mr.
Blobby, I think.
Kanga is usually in the opposition room because he goes in the wrong door.
Jonathan Davis, anyone that gets the ball at the moment, they're too busy looking over their shoulder rather than trying to get forward. Agreed. Steve said 1,400 went up today. And Zach said, sounded good for 20, 30 minutes, then turned from your away end. Zach, what kind of reception did Sparky Harris have? I thought he would have had a decent reception because I thought he was great for Cardiff City. I was disappointed for him to go over. So I don't know what you thought. But I think from watching today and his goal celebration, it looked as if he might have been having a bit of stick from the Cardiff fans. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Zach says about that. What kind of reception he had.
I like Sparky, right? He did work his socks off. He did try. He didn't have the end product. I think he needed. No disrespect to Oxford, right? But I didn't think they were going to win promotion last year. I don't think anyone at the start of the season would have said promotion for League One. No disrespect to him. I think that kind of took the pressure off him to go down to League One, to play a team that's not looking to get promotion, start getting 1 or 2 goals, and all of a sudden the confidence comes and he kicks on, and then when the pressure does come on, he's already flying. Yeah. At Cardiff, there's pressure regardless all the time. You've seen how the fans like. You've seen how quick it goes toxic at our place. We're in a relegation scrap year after year after year these days, so it's always the pressure's always there. I don't think he would have couldn't handle it, but I think he just needed that time away at a club where his pressure was off him. He could just learn his craft, do his trade, get his goals, and come back a better player. And to be fair to him, he's done that. And I don't begrudge him. He scored today. If he wants to celebrate against us, if he give a stick, do it. But then don't moan though that we give you stick after you celebrate against us, because then the stick will go up 3 times worse. Do you mean so?
Yeah, and I liked him as a player. Obviously, he's Welsh as well, so disappointed to see another homegrown lad leave us, really. But again, I just never had a consistent run in the team for me, and obviously the managers. Well, we won't talk anymore about that, but. Yeah, just it always seems to be the ones who've left us. Seen Kieran Brown again, great header, left alone. Kind of Ruben was with him, then he wasn't, and just shocking defence. Paul Howell says we need to act early in January and not wait until the latter part of the window. Cardiff City, we are, mine, Paul. We'll always wait till the last 2 or 3 days.
We'll wait to deadline day and say they turn us down.
Tech, good evening, buddy. I've never seen a Cardiff team that shows the lack of love or respect for the badge. Getting to watch. They just seem happy to tick the box of I got a mouthful of marbles then. I'm a professional player. 100%, buddy. 100% agreed. Paul Francis again says, we are not going to get out of this mess by trying to play pretty passing football, but we need Colwell and Tanner to make breaks. Paul says, El Ghazi is a journeyman looking for a big payday. He does not look up for a fight. 100% agree with that comment, Paul. Paul says, all the mess of 14 managers has caught up with us. Sadly, no director of football, no plan. Another manager now up for losing his job in the coming weeks. Can't keep up with all these comments tonight, guys. Fair play to you. Richard Newell says, I said in a live chat with Si a few weeks ago that I'd sell Colwell as we'd only get maybe 2 good games out of 10. Harris had a good manager who showed faith in him at Oxford, played to his strengths. Jonathan Davis, even at 3-0 down, players were passing backwards to Chambers. I still find that baffling when you're behind. The guy is a defender that can't defend. He's not going to create something out of nothing going forward. Kanga, talking a big spliff, is responsible for the motivational talks. Picture that now.
The thing is, right, he's getting. I made a joke about Kanga. He's getting stick tight. He's not even playing. That's how bad it is. But like, it just shows how bad, how rotten the club is right now from top to bottom. Absolutely rotten to his core right now.
And it's mad to think, like, we're talking about comments like this now from GD Parry. I agree with Bellas that Ruben needs to lose the peroxide.
He made himself a target doing that, didn't he? Let's be honest. He tried copying Ramsey from 2016 in the Euros, where Ramsey had the tournament of his life. Like, let's be honest. Ruben is a shadow of that kind of player. And that's nothing against Ruben. But if you're doing something like that, you've got to make sure you stand out. You try to stand out, you've got to do it on the pitch. Otherwise, he looks like a joke. Otherwise, I mean, it's shock. Honestly, it's so bad.
Yeah. Even let Kieran Brown score. He couldn't even run for us, looking like he was running in mud. But again, he's another player who's left us, gone on to play for a League One club, and by all accounts, he's doing really well. So, you know, fair play to him. He's knuckled down, worked hard, helped Oxford get into the Championship. So, yeah, just frustrating that we see another ex-Cardiff player put a ball in the back of the net against us, unfortunately. Many managers overlooked Sparky, never gave him a chance, really, just like some of the youngsters now. Zach does go on to say, from what I could tell, Harris got an okay reception, but I was at the other end of the ground. Worth mentioning that lots of Oxford fans have turned on Sparky due to bad form, but I like him. Went to the pub with him. Yeah, I think that's his first goal, Zach, in it for quite a while. Yeah, we go through that. At the moment, we haven't got a striker who's hitting the back of the net. Tex says, every player that leaves us seems to grow as a player. Why? It's a great question, that, isn't it?
The answer is simple, isn't it? Because let's be honest, they're rock bottom when they come to us. Anything after that is obviously going to be a step up. Probably because the other managers don't take shit. Let's be honest, other managers won't let them get away with shit. Yeah. I reckon there's a few players in that dressing room, right, who know they can put in 60% of the effort. It doesn't matter if they go down. They know they've got a club lined up in January or the summer. They know they'll get more money next year. So it makes a difference to them. I reckon there's a few players like that at the club right now. I'm not being funny. This is the problem. And most of them, I bet a few of them are starting regardless. And I bet the manager knows a few of them and still starts them.
GD Parry says, if Tan isn't willing to invest, then surely he should have more youth bled in. I think when Risa got offered the job, I think he's pretty much said, didn't he, that Tan and the people above want the nucleus of the side to be youth, or the core of the team to be youngsters. But he came out and said then, didn't he, obviously they need to make sure that they balance that with experience and senior players. But I agree with you, and I think this is something you've said before, that these youngsters now have got to start playing games. And there was a comment in the chat earlier now about blooding them in ready for next season. Hopefully we're not going to be in League One, but you know, if we continue the way we are going, then we are going to be in League One, and the youngsters are going to have to play because we're going to lose 50-75% of our squad, I would have thought.
And again, the problem is, well, League One's not an easy league to get out of. You've got to spend money in League One. I mean, if Birmingham, £10 million, I think it was, on Jay Stansfield. You've got to spend money in that league to get up to there. You can't just go down and hope to get up, because you're like Charlton and Bolton and stuff struggling for years. So,
yeah. Jonathan Davis says, how many players is it that looked absolutely abysmal? Sure, we got rid of, and now they're ahead of us. Yeah. And Vincent Taylor, right, Reese, bad from top to bottom. Where's it all gone?
Yeah. It's again, the club is rotten. I mean, we've got a chairman who doesn't speak, a chairman who's not said a word to us in months. Last thing he said was, we're not in a crisis. It's beyond the crisis now. He's nowhere to be seen. He knows he's going to get his paycheck. Ken Chew's happy because he's selling cars up in London. That's all he cares about. I mean, honestly, I'm an absolute joke of him, the border. I don't blame it. It's not all Reese's fault, let's be honest. They hired a guy who was clearly out of his depth. Nothing against him. We've not seen nothing from him to suggest he's the right man for this job now. He had a good 4 home wins in a row. And to be fair, I said at the time, the players are happy. They're playing well for him. We've got to keep him for a bit. But he looks clueless now. Things have gone off. The wheels have gone off. And the fact the club have said nothing, is not going to say nothing. There probably won't be money to spend in January. It'll just be, like we said, loans. Players have to go as well for bringing anyone in. The players are not good enough for us right now. How are we going to get them out of the club?
Yeah. Losing 50% of the squad sounds great, Paul Francis says.
Start with Chambers, Hovarth, they can go.
Zach, the Oxford fan, says we should have kept Gavin White. What a player.
So where's he gone now then? I know he was at Pompey last, I think, before. I'm not sure, did he go to Pompey then Oxford or Oxford then Pompey?
No idea. Martin says, Twos, Perrott, Giles and others are fantastic prospects. Agreed, Mart. And if they're good enough, they're old enough. Is that the saying? If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah.
Chuck them in there. Chuck them in the deep end. Either going to sink or swim. And I don't know whether a lot of it nowadays is they're worried that if they have a couple of bad performances, it's going to knock, their confidence in their career and things. But we're just in that position now where, we got to give these younger boys who are perhaps more hungry.
Well, today, for example, right, Chambers doesn't track a runner. We concede. We're all raging with Chambers. Kate Parker doesn't track a runner. We go, right, he's learning. The reaction we'll have is different because he's a youngster. We'll forgive the youngsters as long as they see them putting the effort in. And not being funny, NG has been shocking for us this year. Rinomota has become a fan favourite of mine. I think he makes his socks off for us. But you waste him right back. Put him in the middle where he's got a bit more energy. He can run around a bit more. He tries to get the ball forward and put Kipaki right back. That way, Rinomota still playing. Kipaki was getting game time. He's got cover in front of him as well. It's just so frustrating to watch. I mean, I think we just said a few weeks ago, didn't he? Or 2 weeks ago. We got 2 new strikers coming back in January. Turns out he's on about Isaac Davis and Iatete. Keone Tete doesn't stay on his feet. What's he going to do? I'm not being funny. He can't stay on his feet. You got Mate bullying defenders. He can't get the ball. It's just honestly, it's so bad right now. I don't see where the next win's going to come from.
Simic is back as well, isn't he? Although he's injured.
Injured, yeah. But I read an interview with their manager and before he sacked him, and he was saying it's his fault that Simic has come in. He's not ready for the first team football out there. I'm thinking that says it all, that doesn't it?
Which is bonkers, really, when you think of it, because Sunderland wanted to buy him as well, didn't they?
But he was scoring for, was it Salzburg he was at? He was scoring for them, he was. And then we signed him. Bullock came out and said, he's not my signing. I don't know anything about him. It's the board have signed him, not me. So obviously the pressure's on now, isn't it?
Doesn't give that player much confidence when you hear things like that said about it, or does it?
Well, the worry is, though, see now he's fit now from January the 1st, and we start seeing him on the bench and stuff, I'll play here now. The worry then is he playing because he's a board signing, they've told him he's got to play? Is he playing because he's good enough? We don't even know that anymore, so we'll be asking questions then. So you've already shot the player in the foot doing that. I mean, it's just, we got Ryan Wintle who's out of Millwall. He can't get a game for Millwall.
You won't put a Cardiff shirt on again. I'd be very surprised if he put a Cardiff shirt on again.
Honestly, it's just absolutely
after what happened with his social media posts and stuff. I'd be very surprised. But we'll see what happens. Apparently, Gavin White is a free agent. He started off with Oxford, then he went to Cardiff, went back on loan to Oxford. Then he went to Portsmouth. He looked a shadow of the player when he came back to us. Yeah, we do that to players, Zach.
That's our fault, that is. He's a right winger. We played him right back, then right wing back, then right back again, and then said he wasn't good enough. Absolute joke. What a waste of a player. Yeah. Another one that comes many failed transfers.
Paul Francis says, Wintle coming back may firm up the area in front of the defence. He's a useful player. Like I said earlier, I think Kapakio and Chuck Rinomota in the midfield, like you said earlier. And Paul says, flog Wintle for 10 quid. That's how much I want him back. Zach, again, I will say you've been slightly unlucky because this is the first time in ages players like Harris, Vokes, and not even going to say that, have turned up and put in a performance.
He's a jockey, isn't he, Pacheta?
I don't know. But just to go on that comment, Zach, I think
it's
shows the fighting your players were up for it today and Cardiff's weren't. Obviously, you're in a similar position to us. You know, you're fighting for your lives every game. And Cardiff players just don't want to know. Which is, as a fan, is frustrating because we are seeing that from the terraces. It's embarrassing to watch, to be fair. Tech says, imagine being a midfielder and looking up and that shower of is in front of you. You simply give up as a midfielder.
But this is the thing, right? So, we know Matey scored a goal and shushed the fans, right? And to be fair, he's doing his, working hard. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to slate him for that. I'm not blaming him now because we lost today. I know he likes to think we all blame him for everything. We're not blaming him for that. But he's not going to score you 5 goals a season. He's not going to score 5 goals a season. He's not so you can forget about him getting the goals to keep you up. So if you're a midfielder looking forward, you've got Matey ahead of you. Your best bet is just lump it along and hope he bullies his defender and win a knock on. He's not going to take a man on and score a goal.
No.
So as a midfielder, he must be worrying, looking ahead and seeing that.
He hasn't got that ability with the ball at his feet to knock it past someone and beat or do anything. No. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what this comment. Let me get him back up. Yeah. Little Salt got to go. I don't know if that means they're leaving their podcast or they've got to go. Some players got to go.
I reckon.
Paul says Oxford had the new manager. Bounce.
It's Gary Rowett, though. He's a top championship manager. He is. He transformed Millwall into a playoff chasing team. You know, he's a great manager. Gary Rowett is.
This is an interesting comment. Jamalu Collins was liking all the Oxford goal posts today. He's gone.
We viewed things.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
We've heard things about Jamalu. Like this does not surprise me. I've heard things about, but no, I am not surprised if that's true. Absolute joke. This is it. Again, this is it. We need to get rid of these kind of players because it's not just him. There's a few other clowns in that dressing room. So,
yeah. Jayden, evening, buddy. Risa had to change the shape 3 times in that game. Says it all, and Risa said that earlier on. James Pearson, good evening, buddy. Another new name. Oxford didn't even put in a performance, but still put 3 past us. That's how bad we are. Look at our next games. I'm concerned where the next point is coming from. And Rhys said that earlier on as well. It's worrying times, buddy. Worrying times. After the Swansea game, we might be 5-8 points from safety. Zach, I think we've managed to create a unified fighting culture because of the fact we are the lowest team from last year and the smallest budget. Your players don't seem to have bought into anything like that. Spot on, but I'm going to carry on reading a couple of more of these comments, guys, before we wrap up. I said to Rhys earlier, we'll only keep it short, half hour. He said, we'll see how it goes. And we're nearly an hour and 10 minutes into it. So we will be wrapping up in a couple of minutes, unless you keep typing. And I've got to read the comments out. If you take the time to put the comments in there, I will read them out. So, yes. But I have got work in the morning, so don't go typing too many more. Jonathan Davis says, looking at the lineup pre-match, I thought we were going to do a back 4 to try and attack them, but it was a back 5 with Bagan. I was amazed before a ball was kicked.
Like I said earlier, it's no disrespect to Oxford, but we're both down there. It's a 6-point there. We should be going all out attack for this game, not sitting back at the back 5, hoping to try and avoid defeat. Well, once the first goal goes in, you know it's game over because we can't score. And then we sit back even further and we invite more pressure and they score again. Then we sit off even further. It's just a cycle and nothing changes. The manager has no clue. He just looks. He just stands on the touchline, just looking around as if someone's like giving the answer.
Yeah. Paul, let's keep chatting. Don't wind me up, Paul. GD Parry, every team has fight, just not us. And Paul Francis says there are 7 or 8 sides in the scrap towards the bottom, so let's not shoot the dog yet. No, agreed. And, we're still tight, but the longer we go on this slump, for one of the comments just said there, before you know it, we're going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 points above the thing, and it just makes it so much harder then when you're chasing teams. I think the frustrating thing as well is that the teams around us tend to be picking up points at the moment as well, aren't they?
Yeah. And again, the worst thing is, right, the longer this goes on, every game now, every mistake is going to eat that out. And every mistake you make is going, it'll lead to another mistake, and lead to another mistake. Then also the heads are dropping everywhere. So then the chance Ruben would have scored from 3 months ago, he's now skying or hitting Rose Ed. Now the pass he would have tried to attempt making, he's no longer making it. And it's a knock-on effect it is. And everything just goes bad then, it does.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, right, and no one talks about this, but if you do get relegated, staff for the club lose their jobs. I don't mean staff in the coaching side. I mean the ticket office lose jobs. Maybe someone behind the scenes will lose their jobs. The players don't. The players will go on to another club and make the same amount of money or even more. And this is what absolutely pisses me off. I need to get some of them staff people in the change rooms to have a word with them as well, because it makes no difference to them if we win or lose. But to the staff and people who work at the club, it's their livelihood on the line. It's in someone else's hands. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, agreed. Graham says, only positive, we got 2 goals with Robbo and the 2 youngsters coming on.
I think the 2 goals flattered us, really.
Yeah.
I think 3-2 really makes it look like a close game. It was not a close game. It was Oxford. The 2 goals, I thought there was sloppy defending from them. It's just a shot. 3-2 sounds a lot better than losing 3-0. So
yeah. This is a great comment from Tech. Grassroots are watching that attitude from the players. No wonder the crowd numbers are down. Fans follow passion. Ninian Park. Great comment, that. Jonathan Davis, we are struggling to score as well, as conceded far too often. We changed to a back 5, where only the left side has pace to get up and down the pitch and no pace at the back to cover them. Spot on. Right. We're going to wrap up there, guys. Thank you very much for all your interaction. I think that's probably been one of our busiest ones, to be fair. So I know Reese appreciates everybody getting involved. I do. It's massive. It really does help us, stay on here for an hour and 13 minutes. No, it's been great. Very much appreciated. What I will ask, guys, obviously the game on Sunday is that a 3 o'clock kickoff again, Reese?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
What I want you to do, guys, after the video's gone, the live has ended, go into the comments and let us know whether or not you want to have the show on at 19:27 on Sunday or 9 p.m. and then we'll go with the majority, whoever wins. But 19:27 or 9 o'clock. But thank you very much for getting involved. If you can, like, share the video, the YouTube posts, etc. Go on and make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. It does help us out. If you do want to become a member of Cardiff City World, you can follow the information that's been going across the screen all throughout the show. For the price of a cup of coffee every month, you can have access to behind the scenes footage, early access to tickets for live events, which I think Simon's going to be announcing the next couple very soon. 9 p.m. Do me a favor, guys. Do it after the live is finished. You can go on back onto YouTube, go onto the video. It just helps. The more comments we have afterwards, it just helps. It just helps the algorithm of the channel. So, I'll put a comment on there after the live is finished. Give us 5-10 minutes. And then if you can go back onto the video, just answer that question for us. It'd be very much appreciated. But I hope everybody's had a good Christmas. Back to work tomorrow for me. Back to work for you tomorrow, Reese, as well.
Yeah.
So it's like Christmas have never happened, but
I know.
But
all over.
Yes, it's all done and dusted for another 364 days. So
We go again.
We go again. We shall see you all on Sunday. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the festivities. And I'll see you soon. Take care all.